Collateral Impressions, and we're here with Jessica Elicin. We're at the Coffee Cafe in downtown Newark, and she's going to update us on her latest project. She's actually having a women's conference, so we're going to learn more about the women's conference.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation to be part of this interview. I'm definitely glad to be able to support what it is that you're doing. I love to support Black women-owned businesses, and I think that it's a wonderful thing when you're honoring different women in the community that are doing positive things. So.
Yes, okay, so I know you have another conference coming up in February.
Yes.
So you want to give us a little summary of what's involved? Is it tailored to all ages of women?
Well, definitely. So, about my Women's Empowerment Conference. The Women's Empowerment Conference is a group of women that I put together. It's called Jeloude, for women by women. That's the name of my company, and Jeloude is actually the name of my mother, my name, as well as my little sister's name put together, so that this can be continuing on from generation to generations of women. And the conference is all about, actually the conference is on February the 9th, 10th, and 11th. So it's a 3-day female empowerment conference. It is for women of color, because I feel that a lot of women of color, they are in need of a lot of different things. A lot of things that are emotional, things physical, things spiritual, things just a lot of different aspects of us that needs to be, healed, that needs to be revived. And so the Female Empowerment Conference, this year's theme is called "This is the Exclamation Point." And the whole push for this year is to get women to be more bold in their approach in life. 2012 is a year for boldness. It's calling for us to be more bold in the decisions that we're making. It's calling us to be more bold in how it is that we feel about ourselves. And the reason why I titled it the exclamation point is because when you look at a statement, there's nothing more powerful than an exclamation point. When you have a period, it ends a sentence. When you have a comment, that something else is set to continue. But when you put an exclamation point to it, it adds a lot of emotion, it adds a feeling. It can be angry, it can be happy, it can be ecstatic, it can be anything. But that's what I'm asking each woman to do in their life. Start adding exclamation points to the things that they're doing. If you say you're going to go and get a new job, add an exclamation point to that. If you're going to say that you're going to leave this man, add an exclamation point to that. So add an exclamation to everything it is that you're doing.
Okay, so what kind of activities are you guys going to have to kind of bring out the boldness in these women, to kind of get them out of their comfort zone?
Okay. Well, actually, I didn't answer one of the parts of the question. You asked me to say to all ages. Okay. It is for ages, women ages 18 and up. Okay. All right. And in that aspect, I'm telling you, we have actually a panel of women who are made up of women who are 60 plus, talk to us women about just kind of like to help bridge the generation gap between the older generation of women and the younger generation of women, to talk about relationships and things of that sort. Now, as in reference to the workshops that will be helping to bring the boldness out of ladies, well, I'm doing something very different this year. Because the men always say, well, Jessica, you're always doing something for the women, you're always doing something like that, but you never incorporate us. So this year, what I'm going to do is, February the 9th, which is Thursday, I'm actually having a singles mix and mingle. So in that aspect, in addition to having a keynote speaker and introducing the conference to the women, that day we're actually going to have, towards the end of the part of the first group of workshops in the conference, we're going to actually have a time where eligible bachelors who have been screened by us are going to come in, and the ladies are going to have a little game that they have to play to kind of come up to the men, to be bold, to ask some questions, and they mix and mingle based upon interests and things of that sort. So that's one way we got to kind of push the ladies to get a little bit more bold, but kind of stepping up to the plate sometimes. Another few activities that we're going to have is we're going to have testing units there. So doing STD and HIV testing, because a lot of times, women say that they're scared, what their results are, but this is a push for you to get bold and know what your status is. Working as a health educator myself, it's very important for me to see women be advocates of their health, and so that's another aspect. Other parts of the conference is we're going to have workshops, a variety of different workshops. It's going to push the ladies, challenge the ladies to do some things that they may have never done, or wouldn't normally do under certain normal circumstances. And so we're going to have that going. And the rest I can't tell you. The ladies are just going to have to come.
You're going to leave us hanging, huh? Okay, so what are some important issues that you think needs to be stressed among the African American population, females?
Okay, some of the issues I think that need to be addressed is, I think sometimes we as African American women look at each other as enemies. I think that we're so used to being hurt sometimes that we look at our sisters and we don't realize that some of our sisters are going through the same hurts and the same problems, same issues as us. I have a problem when when I see African American women fighting over a man that's playing both with women, you know. And I think that we as sisters need to come together to understand that we all have been hurt. We all need to be comforted, and that there's comfort in your sister's arms. You know, there's comfort in that. I think another thing is identity. I think a lot of us as women don't realize who we are, where we come from, our ancestry. You know, how powerful we really can be. And I think that's just something that needs to be addressed. Something that really needs to be talked about. Not only that, other issues is the generation gap between the older women and the younger women. You know, where you have a lot of younger women who are, you know, actually it was in a song that I heard somebody say this, where they said that basically the song said about a woman who, you know, she basically prostitutes herself for love and attention, you know. And I think that's a big issue, where we have a lot of women who are using the pride that's in between their legs to get the attention and the love that they so feel that they need. And I think that it's up to us as women to help these young women, not to look down on them, talking bad about them. Because I've seen people get talked about like they were dogs, you know, and instead of reaching out and giving a helping hand, we're throwing stones, you know. But if only we looked at ourselves and our situations, maybe we're not prostituting our bodies out like they're doing, but maybe we're prostituting our minds out, or prostituting our heart, or doing different things where we're prostituting something of us to try to get this love and so affection from our male counterpart. And that's actually what. And I'm not ever bashing men. I think our men of color are also in need of a lot of these things as well, you know. But because I've always been so passionate about women since I was from birth, you know, I feel like I came out my mother's womb like, you know, I feel like this is something that I was always passionate about, which is about women's health, about just the life of women. And, you know, that's what started this conference is, you know, Valentine's Days, where women were so talking about how do they have somebody and things that. So I said, you know, why not us get together and show ourselves love first? Instead of looking for somebody else to love you, how about you show yourself some love? You know, and I was a victim of that because I didn't know how to show myself the love. You know, so I throw myself in all kinds of work, was just not paying attention to the cries that my body was sending to myself. You know, hey Jessica, I'm here, give me some attention. You know, give me a little pampering. Hey, light a candle. Let's just eat dinner together. You know. But we don't do those kind of things, you know. We need to learn how to love ourselves, because that's what we're going to spend the rest of our life with ourselves. So we need to know how to treat ourselves.
And I think that's very important, because once we learn how to treat ourselves, then the guys have no choice. You know what I mean? But to treat us the same. Because if we know, okay, no, we're not going to put up with that. You know, we're not going to give into that. Because this is, you know, what we believe. This is what we stand in. Then they have no choice but to, you know, follow our leads. You know?
And not just men, but also women too. Not allowing other women to treat us in certain type of ways, not allowing people to badmouth us or say certain things to us because we don't badmouth or treat ourselves a certain way. So it's having that confidence, it's having that self-assurance, it's knowing who we are.
So with that being said, if you can say, you know, any two messages out there to the, you know, the young African American women, what would you say to them? I know we kind of addressed some of it in this.
To know your power. Know your power and know your strength. I believe that I'm a person who's very much big on God. And I believe that God put us on this earth. He could have gave anybody the gift that he gave us, but he gave us and entrusted us with whatever gift that he gave us in us, he put in us to do. Like, I mean, that requires a lot of trust to birth something, you know, for a certain purpose. And you have a purpose that's gonna be great in this world. You know, your life and you being here is gonna make a difference. You know, you may not see why, you may not see how. So whatever your circumstances, whatever situation you find yourself, just remember that there's something so powerful in you that you needed to be birthed, you needed to be born, you need to be put out there so that whatever's in you can help other people. You know, and I think that, you know, that's one message I definitely is to know your power, know your gifts. Another thing is to just love yourself. You know, a lot of women who say, oh, I don't know how to love myself because nobody gave me love. Well, for you still being alive, that's showing something, you know, because you know, if you didn't, that shows some level of love. You know, that shows love, being able to keep yourself going. Now it's just making better decisions to keep yourself going, you know, making better decisions on how to care for yourself, making better decisions on how you think, you know, loving yourself.
Okay, so I know the conference in February is the 9th, 10th, and 11th. I guess how can women find out more information about this if they're interested, you know?
Email us at 4women@gmail.com. That's the number 4, WOMYN @gmail.com, and we'll send you the registration packet. Everything is free. This conference is a free conference. You don't have to worry about paying for anything, okay?
Okay, and so I guess after the conference, what is your future projects that you're going to be working on?
To make this company an official nonprofit, and not only that, to start doing more activities throughout the year to lead up to our 2013 conference.
And I know you have a lot of projects going on besides this. You're a full-time employee, and then you're going to school as well. How do you, kind of, balance everything in? What is your driving force? What motivates you to keep on doing everything that you're doing?
I've always been a person who was just always motivated. I was always high on life, and I guess knowing that I have a purpose to serve, and knowing that I have people out there who need help, and just because so much that we can do in life, and I don't believe that I was given life to be selfish with it, or given these skills and these talents to be selfish with it. So I believe in giving back. I believe in lifting up our women, and I believe in having this conference. So definitely come to this conference, February the 9th, 10th, and the 11th, 2012. Locations will be disclosed once you send your registration packets in, and just remember, it's free. So invite your friends, your family, your sisters, your cousin, your enemy, whatever it is. Bring them all out to this conference, because we all need to be empowered.